Have you ever wished you could pay people based on the outcome you desire? Well, you can with performance-based compensation. I'm James Leichter, HVAC industry consultant, and I'm going to show you how in less than 5 minutes. Let's get started. The body of law that we need to consider when it comes to compensation is the Fair Labor Standard Act. That is a federal act that you must comply with. Each state can have its own laws regarding compensation. Those laws can be tougher than the Fair Labor Standard Act, but they cannot be weaker. Performance-based compensation in this context is just paying people based on performance or behavior or outcome that you desire. You want to tie as much of their compensation to that as you possibly can and pay them as little as you possibly can for everything else. That's the key. Rule number one, whatever we do, it's always professional, honest, and ethical. So how do we get there? You need to know exactly what you want from your technicians before you implement any kind of performance-based compensation plan. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay service technicians minimum wage. From the minute they clock in the morning till the time they clock out at night, they're paid minimum wage. I'm no longer worried about you clocking out for lunch. I'll pay you for lunch. I'll pay you for breaks. It isn't worth worrying about that kind of unbillable time from now on. Next, I'll pay you a much higher rate for time that's billable or for flat rate task time. For those of you who use flat rate pricing, you can pay based on the time allocated to the flat rate task. That should do a lot to take care of unbillable time. Nobody wants to work for minimum wage. Now, desired behavior. I said earlier, we're having trouble with technicians using, say, an overtime diagnostic fee. During overtime hours, they are supposed to pick a certain diagnostic fee, but they're not doing it. Here's what we'll do. We'll pay a $10 spiff every time they use the overtime diagnostic fee properly. As long as that diagnostic fee for overtime is on the invoice, we will pay them a $10 spiff. But here's the rule. They don't put it on the invoice, they lose it forever. The office will not correct the invoice. Now, let's talk about how to increase the average service ticket amount. Rule number one was we're professional, honest, and ethical. We're not selling people things they don't need any more than a doctor would. I don't believe in paying any kind of extra or commission on absolutely required repair work. I'm talking about selling add-ons, indoor air quality, duct cleaning, Wi-Fi capable thermostats. Anything that's above what was absolutely required to make the repair should be commissionable. You should pay a spiff for that. Otherwise, you won't have their interest. Now, let's talk about your installers. It is very much the same principle. In addition, we will pay them what's referred to as piecemeal. You might pay them a certain amount of money for tear out, setting equipment, for trim out, for startup. But here's a warning. Management, ownership has to be dedicated to the process. You have to be dedicated to helping them become more efficient. You're going to want a truck stock list that allows them to run 9 out of 10 service calls without a visit to the supply house, because that's unbillable. You're also going to have to be dedicated to acquiring and providing the correct tools. If a technician is getting paid by the minute no matter what, they have no reason to buy a fan puller. That's a bad investment. But if they're getting paid the way I'm talking about, now they might want to buy a fan puller. Before, they got paid by the minute to beat on that fan blade with a nut driver and a hammer and some rust buster. They got paid for that. Now they don't. They are going to want to remove that fan quickly and cleanly. The best performance-based compensation plan is a win-win plan, a win for everybody. You, the owner, should make more money. The technician should make more money. And the customer should win too. How? By having quicker, faster, more efficient service calls. It's also a win for the office staff. Why should the office be doing the technicians' work? The technicians need an incentive to do all of those things themselves, and this will provide it. Do you have other ideas on performance-based compensation? Leave your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comments section below, and I will do my best to answer each and every one of them. I'm James Leichter from Aptora. Thank you.